Good morning or afternoon or evening, my little love bugs. This is Michelle the Oracle, and like promised, I have a bunch of human things I'm supposed to get done today, but Spirit sat me down, popped this thing in my ear, and said it's time to talk about the next thing. So I'm ready to talk about the next thing. Hopefully you all enjoyed my first video. I suggest you go back and watch it. If you haven't seen it yet, after you watch this one, go back and watch that. It's an introduction to who I am. You kind of get a feel for how I talk, and I talk a lot. It goes fast, and apparently I love the number bazillion. So I'm just going to stay with that because it's a really good number. I think I might even look it up and see what it looks like. It might make my eyes smile. Anyway, I'm sitting down, and I could have gotten my book of ideas of what to talk about, but they really, really, really want me to talk to you about meditation and what that part plays in this whole path to awakening, what meditation does for you. Again, I teach from me and my experience in my road. So once I started awakening, which was triggered by a big life-altering event, quick story about that. My awakening journey started probably, that was maybe 5 years ago. And I was involved with somebody, a male, who had my entire life. I handed it over to him. My entire life and my heart and my beliefs and everything that I thought I was. And I was with this gentleman, and he took it up to the highest building that he could find on the planet, and he let it go. And I went down, kersplat, and I hit the ground, and I broke into a bazillion pieces. And I had to decide in that moment, in those bazillion pieces, laying flat out, seriously. I was outside in public, on a driveway that was made of dirt next to my house, and I was on the ground and crying, and my whole life had been just taken away, and I didn't know what to do next. And I heard this voice inside me that I'm sure had tried to get my attention before, but this human doesn't respond to, hey, Michelle, or hey, Michelle, or hey, Michelle. I mean, this human responds to shake her crap up and blow it apart. And then you got her attention. So yeah, I was outside on a dirt driveway, on the ground, just wailing because this human man had destroyed me, which it makes me smile now because he really didn't. And I bless his heart every time I think about him. But I was on the ground outside in a ball, and I heard the voice, and it said, Michelle, get up. Not only get up, but all these pieces that you splattered into, maybe you should take a chance and start looking at each of those pieces and figuring out, is this piece even me anymore? Did it come from me? What is it? Do I want to keep it? Okay, we'll keep it, put it back, move on, next piece. Or this piece doesn't fit anymore. This isn't even mine. This was handed down from a belief system that came before me, and hey, bless you and goodbye, and that piece didn't come along. That's what the journey looked like. And for this human, she had to be splattered into those pieces to finally start this journey of awakening. And that's what the path has been for me. Getting each of those pieces of myself and really looking at them, because if you think about it, when we're born, we're told who we are. We're given a name, an address, a separation from our mother who has a maiden name, who the father is, our city, our state, our ethnicity. Are you white? Are you black? Are you Mexican? Are you Asian? And we just separate. And then you go into life that tells you what you are. You go into school that teaches you what you are. And then there's the ever-beloved TV, and that's why it's called programming, that tells you what you are. And then sometimes if you get a chance to kersplat yourself all over the place, you can take these little pieces of yourself and try to figure out for yourself in your own perspective, with your own passion, with your own knowledge of yourself, and just, hey, What do you think of that piece? La la la, not what mom thinks of that piece, dad thinks, friend thinks, neighbor thinks, who cares? What do you think of that piece? And I'm seriously, cover your ears, cover your eyes. Don't pay attention to when you inspect each piece. Is this me? Is this mine? Do I need it? Should I let it go? And that's what my big kersplat took me onto this path of awakening. I got up that day off of the ground and I decided, yeah, let's figure out now who she is, what she wants to do, which led me to a yoga class that I had wanted to take for such a long time, which led me to a core group of women who changed my life, who were there for me during those first 3 weeks, those first 3 weeks after a really bad breakup, and you just cry and you're swollen and you're snotty and it hurts and your stomach and all of that pain is still circulating all the time. I had women who helped me through that in silence in a yoga class. And then one of them guided me on to a psychic class, who then I got introduced to the greatest group of people in that psychic class, who took me on to a oneness class, who took me to a Diksha blessing, who took me to, the path since then. The journey since then has been so magical. It really makes my hands shake how really lucky I've been that I allowed that human to take me up to that highest building and drop me off. He did me the greatest favor of all time, and I'm so thankful that he did it, and I'm so thankful that I accepted the challenge to check myself out and figure myself out, because if I hadn't, I wouldn't be here with you right now, helping you through this. And maybe your life did get a kersplat. I wouldn't be surprised. There's so much happening. There's so many energies going around. There's so much truth coming out finally, and you're having to ask yourself some questions. What was real? What was fake? What is me? What is them? It's such an interesting time. It's so up and it's so down, and it's so good and it feels so bad. It's everything all at once all the time. And that's what this journey is. So that's my story of awakening. Really, like a small part. It's just the shakeup that I needed, because like I said, I don't hear this. I do now. I try to, but I understand if I don't hear this or the shaking up, that the universe will take me to a place where I might get the kersplat. I might get everything towered out and destroyed before I have to rebuild it again. And that's great. It's good. It's easy. Because you know what? It's me. I get to do it. I'm not being told by the outside what to rebuild and how to rebuild it. I'm doing me on my own. And you have that same opportunity all the time to really get into you. So I'm going to talk really quick about meditation. It was the first thing that I had to learn. And now later on, I teach others how to do it, right? And so the first time I ever present to anybody about meditation, it's usually the first question out of the mouth, especially when you get a request like, I can't get a hold of this, or I can't get a hold of that, and I can't figure this out. And then the question always comes up, do you meditate? Oh, I know meditation. Oh, it sounds so fantastic. I wish I could do it, but my thoughts. Oh, I know meditation is so great for people, but I could never turn this off. Oh yeah, I tried meditation once, but I couldn't do it. So, and then that's it. Like that's the conversation with quite a few people. And I get it, it's frustrating when you can't do something correctly the first time. Trust me, this human is a performer. And when this performer can't get something the first time, I get a little frustrated, but luckily, there's something called practice. There's something called commitment and dedication. And there's no better dedication, especially to yourself, that you can make than to just try the route of meditation, prayer, quiet time, whatever you call it. Meditation, sometimes even that word triggers people because they think, well, I got to be in like all white and covered head to toe on a mountain and chant all day. That's an aspect of it, but that's not what it is. Meditation is just a state of being. It's an awareness of a certain space. And once you get there, and those of you that know what I'm talking about, it's this thing that just kind of goes by. That's the state of meditation. It's not a doing, it's a being. And that's what that means in this place of just, yes, all this other stuff goes on around. Yes, it really does. You're here on this planet with these people, of course, but you don't have to interact. You can see how my hand just kind of went away with the flow. It's already gone. See, bye. How easy was that? That's meditating. That's stillness. That's connection. That's allowing the what is to come through you, to be. If it doesn't make sense now, that's okay. Later on, after we get some practice under our belt and get to meditating continuously, which, you know, it can be done. I don't know if I meditate now 24 hours a day. I've heard myself make that claim. I don't know if it's a pure 24 hours a day that I'm in meditation. I can certainly tell you, though, the moments that I'm not. The moments that I feel unease, that I feel anxiety, when I feel something outside of myself, I can tell. You need to get back into this, because girl, you are somewhere up on top and rippling or way down in denial, and that's okay, but become aware and get right back into this. So we're going to give you a lesson on how to meditate. And if your reaction is, oh, I can't do it, well, you're correct. So we're going to go into this practice of meditating with a positive attitude. We're going to declare to the universe, meditating is going to be great for me. And this is going to go easily and peacefully, and I will enjoy every moment of the ride. Wow, I mean, how could they not answer that prayer? Are you serious? You didn't come to them with, oh, my life is so bad and I need to quiet down, but I can't because this and that. Like, that's overly dramatic, and all you're going to get is more of that. So if we chill out, if we peace out, man, and we just let that type of intention out, this is going to be in my highest interest. And I do it as such. And I thank you, thank you, thank you. This is going to be a great ride. I'm ready to learn how to meditate. Ooh, okay, well, your wish is my command, so here it comes. That's the first step. Second step, you say, Michelle, my life is so cuckoo. When am I going to get a chance to meditate? Okay, well, here's the thing. Let's get this idea that meditating is something that we have to do. Because again, like I said, a lot of you visualize something in your head that's probably, you can't, it's expectation, you can't reach it. So let's just think of not a full routine, right? Sometimes even I don't do the full mat, light the candles, do the incense, get there, breathe, quiet. I don't do that. Like I said, it's a state of being. So we're going to take that idea that a routine is what we need to do. And what we're going to do is we're going to look at what we already have. What do you have available to you? Are you a mom who has car line and you sit there for, I don't know, half hour at times? Are you a male, man, the masculine who sits on a train and you have some moments of peace to yourself? Is the only moment you get in the restroom? That's even fine. It's hysterical, right? But sometimes really that is the moment that we get a few moments by ourselves. Is it in your car? Is it sitting on your couch waiting for everybody to come home? Are you the first one at work and so you have a few minutes before the rush comes in? Wherever we can find 2 or 3 minutes, that's where we're going to start. See how easy that is? I'm sure you could find 2 or 3 minutes. You can make it happen. So in those 2 or 3 minutes, what we're going to do is we're going to put our feet flat on the ground, wherever we are. If we're sitting in car line, I'm going to use that because I've done car line, and this is really good. This is an example. This is the only example I can really give you, the car line thing. So you sit with your feet on the bottom of your car, and you ground and you realize and you bring your awareness right here. Here's my body. I can feel my hands. Here's my arms and my legs. I can feel the seat around me. Here's my car. There's the outside. There's so-and-so talking about this or that. And there's those kids over there getting out early. And then you bring your attention right back here. See how we took time to acknowledge, yes, there's stuff around, but then we bring the focus back to self. Now this is wherever you're at. Take the time to notice what's around and then quiet and make sure you're aware that you bring yourself back to yourself. And we're going to get into our chest space and we're going to listen to our heart beating. And we're going to feel our heart beating and our pulse going. And we're going to notice our breath. Are we breathing? Hold on, let's try one. Let's take a nice deep breath. Wow, I haven't done that in a long time. You might start yawning. You might start whatever. You might want to do that again. The thing is to tap into being aware that you're right here and become aware of that breath. Now, yes, thoughts are going to pop in. It happens. We can't help it. They're going to come floating in. Oh my God, I have to stop at the grocery store on my way home. Oh, I got to pick up so-and-so stuff from the cleaners. I hope he's not in a bad mood today. Whatever it is, the chatter that starts happening, it might start happening, especially the first time you try this. And that's all right. It's going to happen. So here's what we're going to do. When my thoughts would come into my head, I would make the thoughts go away by connecting with the Pacific Ocean. I was born and raised on the West Coast, so the Pacific Ocean is my sister. I know what she looks like from the very north to the very tip of Cabo San Lucas in Mexico. So I've seen her and I know what she looks like, and I resonate with the waves and the sounds that makes. So since that's a really peaceful, easy thing for me to do, and I've seen undertow take things out in the ocean before, I've decided that when I started doing this and a thought would creep in, I would see the thought, I would try not to make it get me upset, and I would put the thought into the wave and I would let the waves take it out. Just as easy as that. And when the next one came, there it is, and I would put it in the ocean and it would go out. Now that visual might work for you. Maybe you need to put the thought into a balloon and watch it fly away. Maybe you need to smack the balloon or smack the thought. Sometimes maybe you need to put it in a nice little package and a little bow and send it off that way. Sometimes you can imagine writing it out and setting it on fire. Whatever it is that you need to do, whatever is most natural for you to make the thought go away, you can find it in that thing that you used to play with all the time, and it's called your imagination. So get there. Like I said, I connect with the ocean. She is my friend, so that's where I let my thoughts go. What is tickling inside of you that's going to help you get those thoughts to go away? So we practiced our breathing. We started practicing letting those thoughts go. And 2 or 3 minutes pass by, and we can bring our awareness back here, come back down, and go on with your day. And however that went, whether it was peaceful and easy or hard and disruptive, whatever that first meditation attempt felt like for you, do it again the next